Hey guys, welcome back to AF Farms. Today we are showcasing some logging equipment. So we've just got a series of base game equipment items here that you can use to move logs. So once you've cut logs and put them into the lengths that you like, you've got several options in regards to moving those logs and collecting them, taking them to the sell point or to the carpentry to be turned into planks. So we'll start from this end. So working up from our smallest and cheapest options up to the more expensive. So basically what we've got here is a skid steer loader, so quite inexpensive but quite small, and it's fitted with a log grapple, as you can see on the front there. So if we just jump in this one, basically what you'll notice is we've got our open and close controls for the log, and then obviously our height elevation here, and then we can drop the log in on wherever we're delivering it to. So obviously the limitation with this is purely its size and height, but it does have the benefit of being compact and quite inexpensive. So the skid steers, among other implements, other machinery, have other implements that you can use as well. So if we have a quick look at the skid steer tools menu, so obviously all the tools are broken down by category of vehicle. So I'll run through those quickly just if you're not aware. So obviously we've got front loaders, wheel loaders, telehandlers, skid steers. Then we've got tractors with front loaders, which is a separate section on its own. And to find those, we basically come into the tool section, and it's broken down by front loader tools, wheel loader tools, telehandler tools, skid steer tools. So we've basically got a dump bucket, pallet fork, bale spear, manure fork, bale handler, stump grinder, brush and log fork, which is the one we've got attached at the moment. And then on the Platinum expansion, we've got a demolition breaker, which will break up rocks. So that's where you find the equipment. So it's basically just allowing you to use one piece of equipment to do several different jobs. So just giving you a bit more versatility. So that applies to basically all of these pieces of equipment, bar a few on the end, which we'll explain. So next up, we've got the wheel loader. So there's 3 of these in game. Basically quite a small, if I get into the right one, basically just a very small front loader. So all it does is, obviously it has the attachments required to do multiple different jobs, but once again, a little bit small, limited in capacity, probably not something you would purchase. But this one is actually electric, so if you wanted to drive the electric version, you have that option. So that is the where are we? Front loader, which is this section here. So there's 3 available in that section. Moving on, we've got the telehandler. So the telehandler is probably one of the ones you actually want to get your hands on in game, because it's got the ability to extend its boom arm out quite far. So this is great for high reach situations, and obviously where you've got length and space, and also the height. So this is very versatile. You can use it for big bags, for seed pallets, for regular pallets, anything you can think of. And it also has the ability to 4-wheel steer. So if I turn the wheels here, where are we? There we go. So you can see this allows it to be very maneuverable. So if we back out, so getting in and around obstacles very, very easily. So tight spaces, that type of thing. And that steering mode can be turned on and off. And it can also do crab steering as well, which makes it go sideways. Yeah, menu back, turn off crab steering. That's L3 on the PS5. So telehandler, and obviously these are fitted with log forks. So the telehandler, the wheel loader, the skid steer, and the front loaders all have slightly different configurations for. So actually, I'll just demonstrate the log fork while we're here. So this has got a central grabber in the middle, and then a pallet fork sort of set up underneath. So each one has a slightly different characteristic. The front loaders, on the other hand, are all very similar. So you can see we've got a small tractor with a front loader attachment, which is this arm coming out the front here. Then we've got a medium tractor with a front loader attachment coming out on the front, same size fork. And then we've got the large John Deere 7R with the John Deere front loader attachment. So basically this is just leveraging your tractor to do multiple different jobs. So rather than buying a specific piece of machinery for a specific job, you can leverage the same unit that you've got. So take out the small tractor or the medium tractor and convert it into a log handling device. So if we go into front loaders, you need to pick the front loader attachment. So you've got the Quickie, the Hauer, and the John Deere's, and the Class. So Class will go with Class tractors, John Deere obviously goes with John Deere, and then at the time of selection of your tractor, you can choose to fit either the Hauer or the Quickie. So if we go into the tractor menu, I'll just show you quickly. We'll jump into a medium tractor, Fendt 700, scroll down to front loader, attach a yes, and then you'll have the option of the Quickie or the Hauer. So if you choose the Hauer, you have to use the Hauer front loader attachment. If you choose the Quickie, you have to choose the Quickie attachment. So what that basically means is you come in here and you find the front loader that matches your horsepower requirements and your desired lifting capacity. So this one is capable of doing 760 kilos. The lighter one is capable of doing 520. So that's kind of the weight limit for its ability to lift. Another thing to consider with tractors is you want to get a rear wheel weight, right, to counterbalance the log. So depending on the weight of the log that you pick up, that'll impact your balance. So basically, if we just take the small tractor, and we will just try and pick up a heavy log here. If I can open up the grabber. So we'll go for one of these spruce logs over here. What we'll probably find is this will tip forward because we haven't got a sufficient counterbalance underneath. So let's just see if I can get this one in the grip here. I'll lift that up. So it's not too bad, but it's just something you need to consider for. So let's try and lift this up because this might be where it starts to tip. So you can see it is a little bit wobbly. If I go probably back and forth a few times, yeah, you can see there it started to. So if I go forward this time and then brake suddenly, it'll start to want to go forward. So just something to consider when you're choosing the size of the cut length on your logs, and also the size and weight of your tractor and the weight on the back. So spruce trees in particular will have very heavy sections of tree at the lower end. As the tree gets higher, they become reduced in diameter, so therefore they're a little bit lighter. So small tractor, medium tractor, large tractor, same configuration. Just got to choose the correct front loader for the application, and obviously get yourself the correct log fork, which is in the shop under front load tools, clearly identified log fork, so you can't miss it. Alright, moving on. So we've got the trailer with a crane arm, so we demonstrated that in a previous video, so go and check that if you're interested to see how that one works. Then we move on to our wheel loaders. So these are like the big daddy of log moving in the game at this stage. So the expansion for the Platinum expansion obviously has slightly bigger options for logging, but this is a base game item available to all players. So if we jump into the vehicle menu, you'll find this under wheel loaders, and we've got the Class Taurian 1914, and it's capable of it weighs 19.7 tons, and that's probably the largest base game as opposed to the Platinum expansion, and then some mods which you can get even heavier and larger loads. So this one's probably my go-to for logging, basically because of the size of the log fork. As you can see, it's able to pick up huge amounts of logs. So let's just go and see if we can't pick up a pile here. So a good technique for this one is just to sort of skim that lower portion of the fork along, get yourself into a pile, tilt it up, and then try and close that grabber if you can, and then at the same time you want to lift that up. Probably tilt that back actually. So when you do this correctly, you're able to get a lot of logs at once. So we'll just close that down. And you've also got quite a decent height reach for loading trailers and stuff. So if we just let those logs go, and then we'll come pick them up in a future video. So I want to showcase the loading operation in a slightly different video. This video is just about showcasing the options for moving and handling the logs. So wheel loader with a log fork attachment, very good for huge logs. And then obviously we've got the companion forwarder. So they call this a log forwarder from our tree harvester, which you can sort of see over in the background. So each in-game tree harvester has a companion forwarder, which is what this vehicle is here. So if we jump into the vehicle menu, go to Forestry, you can see base game tree harvester, the Komatsu 931XC, and its forwarder is the 875, which is that one there. Ponzi, same deal. And then we've got the Rotney, same deal as well. And then we've got a couple of trucks, a wood chipper, and some other equipment which we'll talk about another time. But basically what you would use a forwarder for is if you're logging in hilly terrain or uneven ground. Basically what this allows you to do is get in and out of mountainous areas. So just like in real life. So we drive over those stumps pretty easily. Can't drive over that stump. But it lets you handle the rough terrain much more easily than you would by getting a conventional vehicle. Yeah, so you can see that there. Articulates in the middle, independent suspension on each wheel. So it just allows easy access for the vehicle in a mountainous area. In a plantation situation where we've kind of got set up here, nice flat ground. The only thing getting in the way is the stumps at the moment. So if we unfold the forwarder, basically what will happen is the log width, so the arms come out for a longer width. We've got the, so we've just got to get this. So hopefully I can raise this up properly. There we go. So this arm, so obviously we want to position ourselves probably on the side of the logs we want to pick up. We move our boom arm into position, open up the grab. We want to take it nice and easy, get out towards the middle of the log we want to pick up. So in this case we're probably a little bit short. And then we're going to close that log. So similar to our review of the other trailer, pick these up, swing them into position over the trailer, now one thing you would consider when you're using this is to get the bale length to suit the size of your trailer. So in this case it's probably a little bit too big, so this is probably more for about 5 meter bales, currently we've got, so let's jump out and we'll have a look. So you can see this one's overhanging quite a bit. So this is probably suited for 5 to 6 meter bales, where this is an 8 meter bale, which would be better suited for the timber trailer, which we've got sort of positioned up the back there. So that is it for the cranes and the front loaders. So hope this video was helpful for you in understanding and finding out a little bit more of the spectrum of log handling vehicles. Stay tuned for the next video where we talk about the trailer options. So we've got a couple of trailers set up there in the background, and we'll explain how we can use our various equipment options to load various different trailers. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.